Hi there YouTube, it's me T4 Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to the second of this month's Korean toy reviews. Now you've probably noticed from the thumbnail there's a bit of a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen which says that this is not a viewer requested review. Basically I'm saying that because there's a particular individual who has been commenting on my video the last couple of months who's been trying to persuade me to buy and review this figure, and they've been very persistent. In fact, they've commented like I think 4 or 5 times in the last couple of months on my previous videos, trying to get me to get this figure and review it. And to be honest, it was getting kind of annoying and irritating, because this guy was like sort of pestering me, to do it. And to be honest, I didn't want to buy this thing in the first place because it is what I refer to as a copolymer combiner. Because basically, a copolymer combiner, it's more or less a Korean thing, very popular in Korea, and the various Korean robot toy lines, where you have a Gestalt robot that's made up out of various vehicles. That in the show they have robot modes of their own, but because of how the combiner in the toy form is engineered, you get like a car that then transforms into a pair of legs or a pair of arms, and then it becomes giant robot parts. But they don't have robot modes of their own, and this has a phrase or a term called copolymer, which is something the Koreans came up with. I like to use it for these. I'm not a fan of copolymer combiners because to me, I'm with the Transformers way of doing combiners, where you have like Devastator. Each of the Constructicons is a robot mode in itself, and then they form together to form Devastator, but they have alt modes of their own as well. I like that form of combiner. So I wasn't planning on getting this thing, but there's this one guy, this one viewer, subscriber of mine, really wanted me to get it and review it, and they was making a nuisance of themselves, blah 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 blah, get this, review that, blah blah. Oh, it was really irritating. But after going on to YouTube, looking at some Korean reviews of this figure, I looked at it and I thought, well, actually it doesn't look too bad. And it's from the latest line of Tobot 2023 figures. Now, Tobot 2023, I've been collecting the basic figures, so I've got Tobot 2023X, and I've got Tobot 2023Y, and Tobot 2023Z. So I've got all the original figures, the first 3 characters or main characters from the show. But those guys in the show, they combined together to form Tritan. And in the original Tobot show, they combined together because it was X and Y that formed together to form Titan. And then when Z came in, they worked him in, and then you got Tritan. And then they had other combiners that came in. They had Quatron, Deltatron, and a load of others. But yeah, so in the new 2023 show, which has now concluded its first series, and all the episodes are on YouTube, and it's really good. I'm really enjoying the new Tobot 2023 series. But yeah, so in the finale, obviously Tobot Tritan does quite a heroic act, and yeah, he does quite well and saves the day. But anyway, so there is a toy of this thing, and I was reluctant to get it. I didn't want to get it because it was a copolymer, but I saw some reviews on YouTube of the toy and it looked quite interesting, and I thought, what, actually I am going to get it. Now, it is quite a big expensive toy to buy. I mean, I paid what was it, around about 60 quid for this thing, which is more than I like to pay for Korean toys at the moment. I'm managing to get them for around about the 45-50 pound mark at the moment, but buying them, the bigger, more expensive ones, is a bit of a stretch for me. But I went ahead and got it this month, and I'm going to do the review on it now. So anyway, here's the box, and as you can see, it's quite a large box. It's got the 3 guys on the side. Now, you'll probably notice this is a quirk of Tobot combiners. When they go into their combined form, their alt modes change colour, because like Tobot Y is originally, Tobot Y's original colours is a dark blue colour, and yet here, he's red. And then you've got, Tobot Z, instead of being red, he's orange, and Tobot Y, instead of him being like a beigey colour, is now blue. But they obviously form together to form Tritan, with the guys doing this thing, this symbol, when they bring their sort of whatever they use, watches or whatever they are, or they're mobile phones, aren't they? They're, in this show, they're phone activators together to form the Tritan symbol, and so it's a big box. It's got all the product information on the bottom. As with the other Tobot 2023 figures, it comes with a cardboard display base, so you get this in the bottom of the box that you can plonk your figure on to display it if you want, and obviously comes with a nice set of instructions that show you how to transform it into in both directions, actually. So that's quite good. Right, so we're starting off in alt mode. So start off with Tobot X. So here he is in his officially licensed Hyundai Ioniq 5. So there we go. He's in this like fetching blue colour, and it's nicely moulded. Alt mode. It's got a decent amount of paint on the front. It's got the Hyundai badges front and rear. It's got some very, very large, like comically large wheels that are nicely painted and designed, and they're pinned so they roll extremely well. It's got moulded wing mirrors. It's got a spoiler on the back. It's got blacked out windows. It's got painted rear lights. Pretty cool. It's a very dense, chunky, solid car. Like I said, it rolls extremely well. That's pretty cool. There's not much more you can say about it. I mean, obviously there's a few robot bits underneath, like the combiner's head and stuff like that. But yeah, there you go. Nice, solid car. Then we've got Tobot Y, red Hyundai Avanti. So yeah, again, nice paintwork on the front. Hyundai badge front and rear. Large painted wheels that are pinned, that roll extremely well. It's got moulded bits on the side, door handles, body styling, bumpers, tail lights and stuff. Got a bit of a visible hinge here in pocket in the top there, but don't need to worry about that. It kind of looks like a sunroof. And then you've got underneath, you've got robot bits tucked away. But there's Tobot Y, and finally Tobot Z, the Staria minivan. So yeah, again, now this one, obviously the other two have got, again, comically large sort of wheels on their alt modes, and the proportions of the vehicles are very sort of very toyetic, very stunted, chippy-fied, but this guy, actually, his alt mode looks a little bit more realistic in its proportions to the real world vehicle. But again, nice painted grille, got the number plate with his name on the front, got moulded wing mirrors, moulded antenna on the top, Hyundai badge on the back, lights, large wheels, again, that roll. This one has got some slightly unsightly hinge and plug-in ports on the side due to the transformation. So there we go. So you've got the three vehicles that make up Tritan. So transformation, they don't have robot modes of their own. In the show, obviously, these vehicles have Tobot X, Tobot Y, and Tobot Z, respectively, in their original sort of colours. But when they combine, they change colours, and then they combine together to form Tritan. And they go Tritan integration, and you get that that triangular symbol, and then they all merge together. Right, so the best way to start this is to start at the bottom with Tobot X and the legs. Now the transformation on these guys is very, very intuitive, nice chunky clicky transformation, but it's quite fun to transform these things actually. So to start off with, you grab the two sides of the vehicle and then you pull it out on a double hinge, and you bring it down and it clips in like that. So you pull that out, bring that down and clip it in. Then you've got on the back, you've got the feet. So you bring the feet out like so, then split the legs, straighten out the waist, and then just pull the legs out like that, and straighten it up a bit, and there's the legs. So that's the legs done. Put that off to one side. Next we get Tobot X, and he forms the torso. So to start off with, come round the back. Well, you grab the top of the vehicle mode by the wing mirrors, and then you pull, and that unlatches that. You then pull this out on a double hinge, and you'll notice there's two ports there and two pegs on the underside here, so that swings round and clips into there. This thing sort of comes back, and when you get these bits, bring them forwards, swivel this thing round, that clips in there, and then they come back like that, and then you bring this thing up, this orange bar, and then you can also bring up Tritan's head ready for the final assembly. So then you get the leg section, then you've got got like a slider here and then a slot here, so you stick that in, and then it clicks into place, and there's the torso. So now we've got to do the arms. So we get Tobot Y. Now this guy, you kind of grab him in the middle and then just roll him out, and then you've got this like double, like a right angled hinge, which you've got to bring like that and then like that. So you bring that and that and then like that, and then you bring the arms down, and then you swivel those around. You bring out the fists, actually that's right, yeah, they go around like that, that's it. Right, so then you end up with the arm section. Now you need to orientate it so that you've got there's two bars on the top there. So you go back to this thing, and then there's a couple of slots in there. So you've got two little flaps that you've got to fold in there to make clearance. Then you take this bar with the slots facing forwards and you slot it in. Then you push this orange bar back down to lock it into place. And then finally the head is on a, well actually no, you don't do that. You've got to do with the head first, right? So then you've got to rotate the head round on a rotational plate like so. Then you bring the bar down, and then finally you bring his wings out on his helmet, and there we go. There is Tobot Tritan in his fully integrated form. And yeah, he looks pretty cool. Kind of unusual aesthetic, because he's got this skirt around his waist, and then you've got this very narrow sort of midriff, and then the big, chunky chest section. So yeah, he looks kind of unusual in that respect. He's but I don't know. It's very colourful. Always has been, because the original one had similar sort of colours to this. So you got the orange around here, around there, and then you got the blues. You got some more orange up there. You got the black and the bit of white, and it's a good ensemble of colours that make up the Gestalt. He's quite heavy when he's combined, quite big. Quick size comparison with my usual sort of size comparison guy, Combiner Wars Megatron. As you can see, he's quite a bit bigger than Megatron, but then again, he is a combiner, so he is quite tall as regards to that. Quick look next to the other, even though this would never happen in the show, because obviously the all three of the Tobots make this thing up, so you won't get a Tobot X and Tritan in the same frame, because he's basically the blue guy. And just doing the size comparison between the toys, and Tobot Y is a little bit taller, and then finally the bulkster Tobot Z. So yeah, he's quite a big chunky boy. Now, like I said, normally I wouldn't go for a Copolymer Combiner, but after watching some other reviews on it, I kind of thought, actually no, I do want to go for it. Expensive to buy, bit of a downside, but I've got him now. And yeah, so this guy has got quite a lot of joints, or more joints than your average Korean figure, and probably, I'm not saying he's got more joints than your average combiner, but he's quite quite articulated for a combiner. So starting with the head. Now the head has got just a 45-degree tick to one side and a soft ratchet. Shoulders, soft ratchet again. As you can see, that goes round and it will come out to there. Does have bicep swivels that go all the way around. It's got 90-degree elbow with sort of 2 ratchet clicks, but due to the bicep swivel, can move in and out. Nice soft ratchets on the top. Nothing at the waist, unfortunate, but let's just move them up. Now the hips, the skirts does move out of the way a little bit. Full splits. Now, the skirt does get in the way of forward leg motion. You can wrap the kneecap around it, but yeah, so it does limit. Going backwards, it goes back that far, goes in and out. It's got 5 swivels, 90-degree neon and noisy ratchet, and then it's got the usual thing with a Korean figure. You've got the angular cut in the feet. It's got no ankle rockers or anything, so it gives it a neutral A stance when standing upright. So there we go. It's reasonably articulated for its for a chunky combiner, and it's pretty good. Nice and solid, nice and colourful, well made. Slightly unusual aesthetic. I mean, I think the original Tobot Tritan was a little bit more streamlined in its overall design. This one's a little bit chunkier, but I don't know. It's that's just the modern aesthetic, and I don't mind it so much. It's all right. Yeah. So there we go. Tobot 2023 Tobot Tritan. He's a good chunky combining figure, decently posable, nice and solid. He's quite fun to transform backwards and forwards, hence because he's got this nice snappy sort of transformation with all the various parts that make up his Gestalt. Yeah, he's really, really cool. Don't regret buying it. Though, like I said, I was heavily heavily persuaded to get this thing by some other person, but it wasn't the reason why I got it. You know, I decided to get it off my own volition, because, you know, it looked pretty good, and I've been enjoying the other Tobot 2023 figures that I've got so far. Not really interested in getting SOS, mainly because the full toy, the fire engine, what's his name? And I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's got like an automorph gimmick with the ladder, and he's got no articulation on the legs. So no, I'm not going there. I'm not buying that. This guy has got working legs. I might get the mini one. The mini one has got working legs. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. But anyway, this guy, Tobot 2023, Tobot Tritan, he's pretty good. He's all right, and I got it. I reviewed it. So there. So yeah, this has been a unusual review. I probably would not have bought this thing originally, but I don't want to say that I was persuaded or cajoled into buying this by somebody else, but because that's not the case. I decided to buy it myself, but there was somebody else trying heavily to persuade me to buy it and review it, and I've done that now. So I hope you're happy. So I don't want to hear you complaining and whinging in the comments section, because I've been ragging on you a bit in this video. Right, so yeah, there we go. That's been me, TFR Wilderness. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you all next time. Ta-da.